Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Litecoin's price chart, and now I'm actually able to identify some very optimistic signs. So are you ready? Let's dive in. And first things first, if you remember the last time that we talked about LTC, I think we were right in here, and the idea was that this seems to be kind of a slow move on the upside, which is what, yep, you guessed it right, a very important characteristic of a correction structure, suggesting, who knows, maybe after this is over, we are going to have yet another move on the downside. And as you can see, that definitely didn't play out, and instead we got a move up in the LTC. However, I'm actually still going to stick with what I said, and I'm going to say either this is going to be like an A, B, C zigzag, or maybe, and actually preferably, a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And this is the key, pay attention. This will get confirmed when we get a continuation of this move down, and in it we take this important low down here about, let's say, $118, and at that point we need to count on this move down to continue just a little bit more. And this is actually the key point, just a little bit more. Why? Let's go around here. This is just common sense in technical analysis, okay? It's very important to understand that. You see, whenever you are having a very strong move on the downside, since nothing goes up or down in a straight line, makes sense to argue then, okay, we are going to have some sort of a bounce, and the shape of that move is really important. If we're going to have a slow move up, then okay, at that point, we can argue that we're going to have yet another move on the downside. And question is, what can be a likely target for this move? Or let's just say this, how deep the next move on the downside is going to be. You see, that actually depends on the previous move up right in here. Why? Let me give you an example. In case that we want to finish our move up, let's say somewhere around this area, this means that bulls didn't actually have a whole lot of power to push the price higher and higher. So what does that mean? It means that bears are actually quite strong in this phase, and odds are the next move down is going to be quite deep due to bulls not really showing up. On the other hand, if you see a relatively deep move on the upside, at that point you can say, well, okay, there seems to be a balance between bears and bulls, and if we are going to have a move down, then okay, we can say in that move we are either going to finish our move before taking the lows in here, or even if we are going to take it, we're probably not really going to go that much lower. And this, in my view, is what is going on at the moment in LTC. Why? Let's just zoom in and see what is happening in terms of retracements. And as you can see, in this move up, we managed to have a 90% retrace. This means that, again, there seems to be a balance between bears and bulls, and sure, we are going to have, in my view, still yet another move on the downside. But in that move, let's say even we are going to take this low. However, I don't really think that now we are going to go a whole lot lower, and for example, our correction can end right in here. And then what's going to be in play? You know the answer, in my view, and at least according to my primary case, a very strong move up, a 1 2 3 4 5, in order to take the highest side in here for the first target, about 129. But I think we can actually go a bit higher than that, and in my view, it's gonna be finally time to get a break out of this important midterm ranging pattern, which the higher band of it is where, yep, around $140. So the overall picture in LTC, in my view, still looks absolutely fantastic and bullish in the short term. On the other hand, you should probably expect another move down, but at the same time, we are seeing optimistic signs due to this move on the upside, this correction and structure being quite deep, meaning this move down is probably not really going to continue for that long. And after it's over, what are we going to have? Yet another move up. And I am really hoping that on a higher degree, excuse me, let's just go on 30-minute time frame, we are going to have the sub waves for wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then massive move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. If the scenario is going to be in play, then okay, we can safely assume that in the next phase up in Litecoin, we are going to get a massive breakout, and at that point, I promise you, our move up is going to accelerate quite a bit, and you are going to see some very beautiful and exciting price action. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in LTC. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.